She's broken, sorry, and I'm not surprised.
Would you consider this one of the longer, or would this be one of the more short sets?
This looks pretty long.
When I'm a lash aficionado myself. This is a heavyweight lash, ma'am. This is not for an amateur.
I went to my coworker. She told me about the lash special that she was having.
You said the lash special?
Yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So I reached out to her. We established our availability, but then she was stated that she is a new lash tech. Then during the appointment, she did have revealed that she has 5 customers. I make the 5th customer.
You mean in life?
Yes.
Like her whole career?
Yes.
Okay, you're lucky number 5.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
Yeah, I'm not letting anyone with less than like 100 clients come anywhere near my eyeballs.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it did make me a little nervous.
Okay, so you saw not her work, but you saw her price.
Yes.
Okay, continue. Just want to make sure we're clear on the facts. Okay.
Yes. So, but then during the appointment, I noticed that she was jabbing my eye. It felt like she was stabbing my eye. So
And we're talking, when you say eye, ma'am, I just want to make sure that we're all speaking the same language here. So you're talking about lash extensions where individual lashes are put on each of your individual?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, continue.
So that's when, of course, I looked up. This is not what I wanted. I asked for a natural lash. She gave me a large dramatic lash. That's not what I had asked for. I had brought it up to her. She was very dismissal. She had a bad attitude. And, you know, of course, I left. I paid her.
Did you pay? Okay.
Yes, I did.
And how much did you pay her, ma'am?
I paid her $250.
Okay.
So the next day, I woke up, my eye was burning and it was red. So that's when I went to urgent care.
Wow. Okay.
The doctor was explaining it could be a chemical burn from the fumes of the eyelash glue. So of course I reached out to her and I was like, hey, my eye is burned. She did not want to give me my refund for it.
You texted her when you reached out?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have any evidence, ma'am? Do you have text messages, or just proffer everything up to my bailiff here?
Yes, I do. Here.
So we can see a bit about exactly what you're telling the court. Thank you, sir. Okay, so let's start with trying to get a sense as to the injury alleged here. Let the court see this photograph of the young lady's eye, which does look very irritated. So,
Girl, you gotta get that checked out. That looks like pink eye. That's a booty eye.
this looks painful. Was it painful?
Very painful.
Was it burning, or what was the sensation like, ma'am?
It was a burning, like stabbing sensation. Like it was just so painful.
My eyes! The pain!
And how long did it take for this to go away, ma'am?
About 2 to 3 days.
2 or 3 days. Okay. And did you have to take any medication for that?
Yes, they did give me some antibiotics.
Okay, so these are the lashes that you say that you did not ask for because these are too long and dramatic. Is that the...
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
They were not at what I had asked for.
It's pretty, though.
Your Honor, that's what she asked for.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of it in just a second. Okay, so let's look at these receipts, literally here. I do see Eyelash Queen. That would be you, ma'am?
I do
Okay.
own Eyelash Queens.
That's you. I see $200 due, and you're saying you paid this in full?
Yes.
You received payment, ma'am?
Yes, I charge
Okay,
a card.
great. So this is the intake form. I acknowledge that there is a potential risk of allergic reaction to the adhesive. I acknowledge that the adhesive may cause irritation or discomfort. I understand that this requires a certain level of care, and I acknowledge that the results may vary. Okay, and you're looking today for me to, by virtue of judgment against this young lady, reimburse you for your expenses?
That is
So
correct,
you
Your
want the medical bills and you want the money you paid for the lash extensions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me get to the defendant here. Ms. Stevens, you are a new lash technician, is that correct?
I am a new lash technician.
Okay.
However, I will note that I am a licensed lash artist. You know, as you can see through my client questionnaire and consultation form, everything was in this packet and signed and consented by her. So she specifically asked for a hybrid look. And in the industry,
No, let me read it for myself and read it to the court. Okay, so it does say desired lash style, natural, dramatic. Those are examples you're giving the customer. She says, I prefer a natural look, something that is appropriate for work, but will also work for a night out with friends or a date.
Yes.
So hence hybrid.
Exactly.
But it does say length preference, and it does say short, medium.
Yes, which is what I gave her. I didn't give her any...
Pause. Let's put back up on the
Yes.
screen for the courtroom to see the finished product of the lashes, please. So this does not look short nor medium to me. This looks pretty lengthy here. Elijah, I know you've seen some young ladies in your day with some lashes.
Well, needless...
Ma'am, is your name Elijah?
Okay.
It's not. Elijah, I know you've seen some young ladies in your day with these lash services. Would you consider this one of the longer sets, or would this be one of the more short sets?
This looks pretty long. I still don't know how y'all can wear them on there.
I know. Yeah, this is, you know, and I'm a lash aficionado myself, so I'm very, very familiar with it. And I would consider these, this is a heavyweight lash, ma'am. This is not for an amateur.
Well, if you take a close-up look at the photo, especially with her eye open, in order to achieve a hybrid look, it has to be a mix of long and short lashes.
Let's see the infected eye one more time, the aggravated eye. Okay, so I do see a mix here of short and long. So you're saying that that was required to achieve the hybrid look she asked for? Okay, now I got to be honest with you, Ms. Stevens. I am so distracted when I look at this photo with the eye irritant. It really is hard to decipher, but okay. Now, have any of your previous 4 clients, ma'am, had a reaction similar to this?
No, they have not. And then you can look at my reviews. All of my reviews have been
Go ahead
positive.
and offer that up to my bailiff, ma'am, all of your evidence. Thank you.
All of my reviews have been positive. And during the appointment with...
well, no. Let's check and verify what you just represented to the court. You said, say it one more time, the last thing you
my reviews have been positive.
You said all.
Yes, all my reviews have been positive.
Okay, now that's interesting to me because I am looking at Eyelash Queen review. You're Eyelash Queen, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now the very first review I see is titled Disappointing Experience. I recently had my lashes done by Ava Stevens at Eyelash Queens, and I must say it was a disappointing service. Application was sloppy, and I felt like excessive glue was used. The lashes did not look natural, and I had an irritation afterward. I expected better consideration, but unfortunately I won't be returning. That's the very first review I see, ma'am.
Why would you put that in your evidence? Why would the top one say, what was it, like disappointing experience? Why would you put disappointing experience in your evidence? You're so stupid.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But that's not all. Is this your review, ma'am?
That is her review.
Oh, please.
Okay,
Come on now.
so now y'all, somebody want to start lying in my courtroom?
I'm not lying. You can continue reading the reviews.
Now I do see, to your point, 2 additional very glowing reviews. I see fast, flawless, and affordable. So this must be during the special. Ava Stevens, Eyelash Queen, a true eyelash wizard. Attention to detail. The pricing is reasonable. I walked out feeling like a queen without breaking the bank. Highly recommended.
And there's a reason why I'm called Eyelash Queen.
But Your Honor, I'm just saying, like, it's not what I asked
We got
for.
to stop right there, Miss Ross, because if you want to go from day to night, who among us is wearing the exact same aesthetic to work during our daytime hours that we're wearing out in the streets when we're trying to entertain gentlemen callers?
I'm just saying, like, but she didn't follow what I was...
Gentlemen callers like our bailiff here, Elijah.
Elijah, I know you've seen some young ladies in your day. Well, I actually will be the judge of that. So I believe that you executed a desire, and I believe that this woman, at this point, is saying that she did her best to interpret that look. So let's get to these text messages, because for whatever reason, you were not happy, and I do see that there was definitely some damage done to your eye. Now, whether or not she was at fault for that remains to be determined. You communicated with her after, you said the next day is when your eye started being irritated? My OMG, my eye is burning. I cannot believe this happened. This is all your fault. First, you do not apply the eyelashes I want, and now you have burned my eye. You must refund me. You respond, Cassidy, I'm sorry your eye is burned. Why did you not mention it yesterday? I charged your card because you left with new eyelashes. Well, now that makes a little sense. The burn did not appear until today. Now that you know, you should be offering to pay my urgent care bill as well. And you say, if you would like to call me, we can discuss it for a resolution. Was a call ever made to you, ma'am?
Nope, she did not call me. So I did try to resolve the solution, as you can see. I expressed...
What would your resolution have looked like? I'm curious.
I would have offered an additional service when her lashes did start to fall apart, right? To make up for maybe a disappointing experience for her.
So let me ask both of you 2 separate questions that are very important here. Ms. Roth, have you ever gotten eyelash extensions before?
I have, like, once or twice.
Once or twice. And you mean to tell me neither once nor twice you ever had any discomfort whatsoever?
No, Your Honor.
Let me hear more from you, ma'am. I want to ask you this question. Of the 5 clients, including this woman you've done, you mean to tell me nobody else complained about one thing?
The reactional feedback has been, I wish my lashes had been a little bit more curly. Maybe we should have used a different selection of lashes or a different length of lashes.
But nobody complained about the installation?
No, there has never been any irritation because I take a proper intake form and I make sure I understand my clients' bodies and medical concerns or allergies.
This is what I'm going to do. Ladies, I'm ready to rule in this matter. I believe that both of you are misconstruing something that happened on this particular day. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Somebody's in here lying, I can't tell who. Therefore, I can't make sense out of either one of your tall tales, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rule in favor of you as the plaintiff, but only for $200. I'm going to reimburse you the cost of the services because you confessed to me, Ms. Stevens, that you were gonna be willing to give her an additional service anyway. So I will rule in favor of the plaintiff for $200. Y'all need to get y'all's lives straight.
Judge Ebony has ruled in favor of the plaintiff.
Wow, that is crazy. I'm not sure if I really agree with that judgment because, you know, the thing is like she signed a contract and everything like that saying like, oh, I assume the risk. and all of that. What do you guys think about this? Do you think the judgment was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.